2 years ago, when the first lockdown lifted, remember those days? We brought the then brand new Thar to the sands of the Thar desert. Driving on sand is an incredible experience. But we're not here to repeat the same story. In this story, what we're going to do is push the limits of endurance of both machine and man. We are attempting to drive from the sands of the Thar desert to the snows of the Himalayas in 24 hours. This is not going to be easy.
The route is 1300 kilometers long. Starting from the heart of the desert, just 9 kilometers from the border, we will first indulge in some dune bashing, then soak in the spectacular Bharatmala road before coming back to reality as we find the border town of Jaisalmer to get our bearings. Then on, our drive begins in earnest, heading to Bikaner, into Haryana, crossing Hisar and Kaithal, then into Punjab at Ambala, passing Chandigarh and into Himachal at Roopnagar. Then on, up to Manali and beyond. A challenge like this meant we needed reinforcements, and that's why we called upon the heavy artillery, the big hitters, the best and most experienced drivers that we could find for the challenge at hand.
Firstly, thanks for having me over. It's lovely to be a part of your team.
Gaurav Gill, 7-time Indian National Rally Champion, 3-time winner of the Asia Pacific Rally Championship, WRC2 driver, the first and only recipient of the Arjuna Award in the motorsport category.
मेरे हिसाब से दोनों difficult है, sand भी difficult है और snow भी difficult है.
Suresh Rana, 10 times winner of the legendary Raid-de-Himalaya, the toughest rally to ever be held in India. 5-time winner of the Desert Storm rally. He will be guiding us up to his home, Manali, and further up north to find the snows.
डेजर्ट में थार ड्राइव करने के लिए काफी आपको प्रैक्टिस की जरूरत है.
Madan Choudhary calls the Thar, both the 4x4 and the actual desert, his home. He knows the desert and the dunes like the back of his hand. Was part of the team that tested and validated the Thar in the desert. And he will be guiding us through the sands.
सैंड ड्यून्स में इसको चला के इतना कैपेबल बना दिया है कि डजंट मैटर कि यू आर बिगिनर और द एक्सट्रीम ड्राइवर, दिस मशीन कैन टेक यू एनीवेयर इन डेजर्ट.
First rule is they need to travel at least 3 kilometers in a sand as well as in snow. And they need to follow all the traffic rules and the guidelines which are given by the IBR.
Right then, so it's 8:30 in the morning. We are set up in the dunes. The crew, they are setting up their camera. The Thars are lined up. Now Google Maps, it says it is 23 hours for the 1200 kilometers from Jaisalmer to Manali. But that does not account coming all the way into the dunes out here and going further up north to find the snows. And where we'll find the snows, we don't know. So half an hour to go for flag off. The Thars there are ready. The crew out there, they're getting set up for the flag off. The dunes are looking beautiful. The sun is out. After 23 hours or 24 hours, we will see the rising sun with the snows in the background. And now because this drive is going to be hectic, we don't have time to stop and shoot. I will be talking to you most of the time through this GoPro, sort of like a vlogger.
So guys, we're about 80 kilometers off Jaisalmer in the dunes, and this is where the drive starts. So we've got to go about 3.5 kilometers until we go to the main road. That's the part of the trip that we start on the sand.
अभी हमने शुरू किया है जैसलमेर से रोहतांग तक के लिए एक अनोखा सफ़र। मेरे लिए एक बहुत ही अमेजिंग वाला रोड ट्रिप है ये, क्योंकि आज तक मैंने थार को सिर्फ सैंड ड्यून्स में ही उसको साथ खेला है।
We chose the Thar for a simple reason. It celebrates life. It inspires you to go out and live life. Get out of your comfort zone, the urban jungle, and just go out and breathe fresh air. Watch fabulous sunrises. Experience the beautiful outdoors that our country is blessed with. With what else can you go dune bashing, and then once you've had your fill, disengage, follow, and then chew up miles and miles of tarmac. The good, the bad, and the ugly of Indian highways. 1200 kilometers as we drive from Rajasthan right up to the mountains. That really is pushing the limits of both the Thar as well as us.
I just feel so good, good, good. Oh, I just feel so good, good, good. Oh, I just feel so good.
So the Thar is legendary, and the genes go back to the 40s and the 50s. Early on it used to be a utility car, but now it's a complete lifestyle change. The new Thar is super cool and I love driving it. It's got so much comfort and its ability is completely uncompromised.
What I really like about the Thar is that the dynamics have improved so dramatically. Now it's got powerful engines. This petrol engine, the mStallion, it makes 150 horsepower, which is a lot of power, but it has the chassis, it has the suspension, it has the dynamics to handle all that power on these roads in Rajasthan, which are lovely, like really beautiful roads. I wish we had roads like these all over the country. Really, it makes driving a pleasure, and driving the Thar over here is an absolute joy.
आपको क्या लगता है सैंड में आपने काफी चलाई है?
सैंड में बहुत जबरदस्त परफॉर्मेंस है। आप बिलीव नहीं करोगे, जब हम इस गाड़ी के R&D का काम कर रहे थे, तो मैं किसी कंपनी को कोट नहीं कर रहा हूँ, लेकिन बिलीव नहीं, मतलब 50 लाख की गाड़ियों के आगे ये 15 लाख की गाड़ी बोले तो फॉरएवर हमेशा अच्छी लगी।
Safety is super important on this drive. This is unlike the earlier endurance runs that we did, which were on closed off tracks. These are public roads, and with all the variables that you will find, cattle, people crossing, you have to be super careful. And this is a long drive. And the way to drive in India is to maintain a consistent average speed, not a high top speed, because you can't do top speeds. The variables are just too many. But consistently doing high average speeds, that is how you eat up the kilometers, and that is what we're going to do. Everybody clearly loves the petrol engine. I remember the first time that I drove it, Independence Day 2020. It was the first time that we were getting out of our home city after the first lockdowns. Remember those days? Man, it was absolutely crazy. And then we got to drive the Thar, and we fell absolutely in love with it, which you could put down to the fact that we were stepping out of our homes and going for a media drive after 5 months of being locked in. Except, no. I remember thinking to myself that the Thar was the most sorted Mahindra that I'd ever driven. And the powertrain, a petrol automatic Thar. This was something that we had not experienced ever. This is the first proper, sophisticated, direct injection turbocharged petrol engine to be designed, engineered and manufactured right here in India. 2 years ago, it was a very big deal. This is the reason why urban markets went crazy over the Thar. Why fence sitters, well, jumped the fence. 1.5 years later, the Thar has got 1 lakh bookings, and this petrol powertrain is a key reason behind its success.
we've left Rajasthan and we've made a lot of time on those flat, beautiful roads of Rajasthan. So like Sirish said, we got to keep moving, no stopping around, and keep driving so that we can make a good time.
It's 6 in the evening and we've done 638 kilometers. We've just crossed into Haryana and we are fueling up our cars. Fuel here is 96 point something rupees a litre, whereas in Rajasthan it is around 12-13 rupees more. So we're actually saving a bit of cash fueling up our Thars in Haryana. It's 8:30 and we've got another maybe 10 odd hours to go to get to Manali. But now we're going to stop for at least half an hour, grab a quick bite and then get back onto the road.
It's a pretty easy car to drive. You don't have to be a hardcore driver or a hardcore enthusiast to be able to drive this car.
बिल्कुल कोई टायर्डनेस नहीं, कुछ नहीं.
डेजर्ट के बाद एकदम से आप हाईवे में आते हैं और उसका अलग एक्सपीरियंस, और उसके बाद हम माउंटेन्स में जाने वाले हैं तो अलग होने वाला है. थोड़ा एक्सट्रीम तो होना चाहिए ना. हाँ, क्यों जी? स्मूथ हो गया अगर स्मूथ हो गया तो 2 घंटे फालतू मिले, तो अगर मान लो 2 घंटे अगर नेक टू नेक हो तो फिर मजा आएगा ना.
Night has fallen, everything is pitch dark. At least luckily we're still in Haryana, so we have these dual carriageways. But further on, once we get to Punjab and further up north, it's going to be a single carriageway, lots of work going on the road. So that is going to be difficult. And this is a proper test of endurance.
आप बस पहाड़ों की तरफ मुड़ रहे हैं और गर्मी के इलाके छोड़कर अब ठंडे जैकेट तैयार करो, मतलब एसी बंद करो और हीटर ऑन करो.
Well, the most important thing for an endurance drive is comfort, obviously. For me as a driver, I would look into that. And what better way to get a 4x4 with a hard top here, which completely keeps me in my comfort zone. There's no, crosswind noise. There's no outside disturbance or noise, rather I would say. And of course, I'm comfortable. That's why I'm not going to get tired at the end of the day, because we're ending up driving for 24 hours non-stop. And that's what makes a 4x4 reliable, comfortable, and a perfect ingredient to do the endurance run.
It's 3:30 in the morning, and as per Google Maps, it's 2.5 hours to Manali. So by 6 a.m. we should reach Manali, except we've got a traffic jam up ahead. There are roadworks going on, and these roadworks have been going on for years. But because of the roadworks, the road is shut. We are stopped by the side of the road and just hoping that it eases up soon. And it's also freezing cold. It was boiling hot in the morning and now it is freezing cold. It's also a beautiful night. It's a full moon night. The moon's out there. And there's the river flowing by the side of the road. It's beautiful, it's cold, and where clock is ticking, hopefully that jam will ease up and we can get going. And this nonsense does not happen where people go ahead and block the road. We got into Manali at 5:30 in the morning, but then it was dark and then there was no point in pushing it all the way to the snow. So we stopped off at the gorgeous Himalayan for a quick break, a bio break for the entire team, some coffee, a quick breakfast, and now just getting the Thar's windscreen cleaned up and head out to find the snows.
जो बैरियर है वहाँ पर आपने बता देना उनको कि 2 गाड़ियाँ आगे गई हैं, तभी आने देंगे आपको। आप लाइन को काटते हुए आगे आ जाना।
Guys, I can see it. So Gaurav, we are finally in the snows. What's on your agenda?
Well, we've got lovely, blanket of snow around us here. So the best thing for me to do is put the traction control off, put some 4-wheel low, and go do some donuts and some drifting.
I will set us free. I will set us free.
I would like to congratulate the whole team, Evo India, and this certificate goes to whole team, certificate of appreciation from India Book of Record.
The Thar has once again proved its versatility. You can take it to the desert, go dune bashing, and then drive up to the mountains and go plug through snow. And in between that, you can do what we did, drive 1200 kilometers. Well, actually, the official record stands at 1294 kilometers over all kinds of roads in India. And of course, if you have a crew like that behind me, you can really do wonders with a machine like the Thar. Thank you, guys. Okay. Shri Dungargarh.
We've decided to pick up our lunch in Bikaner on the go and grab it while we drive. Okay, we'll do it again.
अरे भाई ये दिन का लंच कैसा लगा ये तो बताओ।
दिन का लंच तो एक नंबर था, मुझे वो रोल भी बहुत सही लगा।
रोल अच्छा था नहीं? हाँ, रोल ज़्यादा अच्छा था।
काफी रोल था। अरे ढंग से गाना यार, क्यों बोर कर रहे हैं? अच्छा तो गाना गा कुछ।
लोक जे होतात ना तसं
तो उचलून घाबक कसलं सिनेमॅटिक येते आता डायजेस्ट होईल।
आप जो कॉर्नर की बात है तो यहाँ पे साइकिलिंग कर रहे हैं वो लोग, आप देख सकते हैं इस चीज को।
This one dog and the Sibba.
Should I give?
Red Bull नहीं।
ഇവിടെ ഭയങ്കര തണുപ്പാണ്. Very cold over here.
Catch. This is what happens when you don't sleep for 24 hours. These guys behind me, they've been brilliant. They managed to do what?